stuck yourself in a shell that, okay, this is my shell and I cannot go out. You have to. If you want to explore the world, if you want to be on my place, you have to get out of the shell and start talking to people. One or two, they will make fun. Three will make fun, and after some time, you will not bother about them. You will be like, it's okay. But then you will get the confidence that, okay, I can do it. I can face the world. And that is more important. Confidence is very, very, very important. Confidence is the key. If you have the confidence, you can talk. If whether you are talking right or wrong, but you will get the confidence that, okay, I can talk in front of in front of 10 people. You will not if you will not have the stage fear, you can win anyone. If whether you are talking nonsense, it's okay. First, develop the confidence that you can talk. Okay. And I know, I understand that most of the time what happens is you just ignore the things that, okay, I don't want to do it. We used to do presentations, right? The only reason of doing presentation to make you vocal about the things, to make you talk. Okay. Right now, there are no classes, there are only virtual classes. So here it's even more easy. You just switch off your camera and you talk. Okay. And you think, okay, nobody can see me and now I can say whatever I want to. That's so easy. But if you come to the institute and do the classes, you have to stand in front of the class and give the presentation, and that will boost up your confidence. So that's why I asked the people, those who were used to give presentation, to switch on the camera. That's why I ask everyone to switch on the camera, because it's easy to hide behind the camera, but it's difficult to face the camera. But today, if you will face the camera, you will get the confidence. I ask each and every one of you questions, if you remember. I take the names and I used to ask questions. That was the only reason. Understood? Any questions? Tell me if you want to say something about me which you think is offensive. Maybe you don't like my voice. Maybe you don't like my anything. How will you say it to me? Any idea? Switch on the cameras and let's try this exercise. Guys, switch on the camera.
Now we can start by simply saying that according to my views, I don't really want to offend you. Like we can start by praising by one topic. We can take something which you like, and then be very polite and say that maybe this might just be my perspective, but I really want to share it to you so that you can also have a check on it, or maybe I'm wrong, so you can correct me. So with this approach, if I say the person will also accept me and also will understand that okay, there might be some good in this decision. And if the person is saying so, maybe the person is wrong, so I can correct the person because the person is approachable and is acceptable towards opinion.
Exactly. Very good. So, very well said. But what we used to say is the sandwich method. So, do you guys understand what sandwich is? So, there's one bread, and then you will keep the stuffing in it, and then you keep the another bread on it, right? So, firstly, the first bread, so that means you're supposed to. So, yeah, the sandwich method. So, first bread, that means you will praise the person. You will tell, for example, she gave the answer. What's your name? I'm sorry, I forgot. I didn't ask your name.
Ma'am, Khushi Mittal.
Khushi. So Khushi, if I want to appreciate her, what she said, I will say whatever you said is apt, is actually the thing what I was looking for. That means you praised her at the first place. The filling in the sandwiches, that means you are giving your viewpoint. That you know what, this could be better, or you could have said this in a better way like this. Whatever you said is good, but now what is your mistake? I will tell you the mistake in a very sugar coated way. Okay? And another bread on the sandwich, again you're supposed to pray. But I really appreciate your efforts, whatever you just said. Okay? So, before telling someone what he or she has done wrong, first you will praise the person, Then you will say whatever you want to say, and then again you will praise the person. Like this, the another person will never get offended. Okay? And also he or she will listen to you that okay, that means you have not said anything offensive to me. That means you are genuine toward me. You really want me to excel in this. Understood? Any questions? All right. Let's move further. Okay, so let's go through this PPT once also. So how to change people without giving offense. So as I said, begin with praise and honest appreciation. So you should appreciate the person first, praise for the effort, and then go further. So call attention to the people's mistake indirectly. Do not point out the person directly that okay, you have done this wrong. That is very offensive. Maybe the person will not say it to you, but he or she will feel bad about it. We don't want anyone to feel bad about anything. Okay? Then talk about your own mistakes before criticizing others. So you should give your example. When I used to do this, I was like you guys. I just said that, right? When I was not flying, I was very introvert, just like you guys. So I gave my example to you guys, right? So you should always give your example so that the other person will not feel, okay, they are just pointing out me. I am the only wrong person. It's not only, create negativity in their minds, but also they will be very underconfident that, okay, I have done this wrong for the first time. I just can't do it better again. So their self-confidence will go very low. That's a very sad thing. We don't want this for anyone in life. And you will not like it if someone do it to you also. Okay? So always think like that. Always be on the another person's shoes and think if you will be on their place, would you like it? Okay. Now tell me, whatever I'm telling you right now, how will you remember these things? How will you, whatever I just taught you, how will you remember this?
Ma'am, by making pointers about the notes, whatever you spoke, for example, listening skills, empathy, and remembering names, being approachable, having a smiling attitude, developing patience. So these are the pointers that we can keep in our mind, write it down, so that when we practice and also throughout our daily life, when we practice it, it will develop in our personality. So we won't have to remember it, and when we practice it, we won't be having to always pick it up in our mind.
Very good, Khushi. Exactly. So you don't need to go through, that's why I said make pointers. You don't need to go through the whole thing every time. It's not for this session only, for all the sessions of whatever you are doing. Okay? Just start to make pointers. And then if you know the pointer, you just know how to explain that thing to the other person. And it's easy for you. Instead of remembering and or revising or doing all these things, just make a pointers of the thing. First thing. Second thing, listening skills. Your listening skills very good. Being a student, that's what our school had taught us from the first grade to the 12th grade. In the school, you guys don't do anything except listen. You just listen to the teachers, and that's all. And then you have to give your exams, and then you go to the next grade, right? So listening is the skill which they taught us since we entered the school. Listening is very important. So it's not about you are listening right now and then you are getting, you are forgetting it after some time. It should not be like that. So how to make your listening more effective? How you will make your listening more effective? So there are a few pointers about it. First pointer is you are hearing the thing. I'm telling you, you are hearing it. But you need to focus on the message which I want to give you. Okay? Maybe you will not remember each and everything I'm saying right now. And I don't expect you to remember that. But you just need to focus on the message what I'm trying to say. Understood? And then you analyze and evaluate. Then you analyze it in your brain that, okay, what she said, and I give you examples, right? Just to make sure that even if you forget what I just said, if I'll talk about that example, it will be there in your mind all the time. That's why we give examples while teaching. Okay? Then you respond. I ask you questions in between just to make sure that everybody is listening, and then I ask you questions and you give me answers. That means you are responding to that. And the last thing is remembering. How you will remember when you do all this exercise again. Okay, so hearing is one thing which I'm doing right now, but you are focusing on the message. You're supposed to focus on the message only, what I'm trying to say to you. Then you evaluate. Then you understand what I'm trying to say. Then you respond to me. But this whole thing you will remember only and only if you will revise what we are just talking about. Well, this is very basic what we are talking about. You don't need any extra exercise. You don't need to do any extra exercise for that. But for your other courses, for your studies or whatever, if you will not revise the things, you will tend to forget. And revision, I mean every day you need to revise whatever you are doing, whatever you are studying. Don't bundle up things. If you'll bundle up things and do it only near to your exam, then there will be a blunder. And if you will revise the same thing, you don't need to spend hours and hours for that. You just need to do it quickly. I mean, just 5-10 minutes. As I said, the focus, you should know the pointers even while sleeping, before you go to bed. Just in your mind, remember or focus, or just go through that pointers which we talk about. Go through that pointers and you are good to go. You don't need the elaborated version. You don't need to revise elaborated version all the time. Okay? And this is not I'm talking about this. I'm talking about anything technical which you are studying right now. Okay? Revision is must. Right now I'm talking about your listening skills only. Did you get that? It's just the listening skills you need to improve. And if you will improve your listening skills, that means you will start remembering things. And once you start remembering, you will start observing more. And if you will observe more, that means you have so much of information in your brain, you would love to communicate it to the other people, which they don't have or which they don't know. So learning skill is a very important part of the personality development. So learning, observation, and then communication. You cannot communicate, if you ask me to talk about any random topic. For example, if you want me to talk about the catering, I mean, or if you ask me anything about cooking, I have no idea about it. Okay, so if I don't know about it, I cannot talk about it. So I need to learn it before I tell you anything. Okay, if you ask me any recipe, if I don't know that recipe, I cannot explain it to you. So in order to explain you, I need to learn that first. Right? So right now, if I'm talking about the personality development, because I know those things, right? I have learned those things. That's why I have learned, I have observed, I have experienced those things. That's why I am communicating it to you right now. Is that clear? So learning is the first step. Learning is very important. You will learn till the end. Even if you are on your deathbed, if you have this zeal in you, you will learn. Few people, there are very less people in this world, I would say, those who are very hungry to learn more and more things. I have seen few people, even if they are in their 50s, in their 60s, they keep on learning, they keep on doing new stuff, they keep on reading, so that they will absorb lots of new information, and they love that. And you see such people, if they are sitting in a bunch in a group, they you will get immense information from them, and then you get impressed from by them that okay, they know so much. They know because they learned, right? Similarly, if I am talking today, I have learned those things. I was a student just like you, and I have learned those things. That's why I can talk about it today. And it's not about this anything, whatever you do in your lives, guys. It's not about aviation, it's not about being cabin crew. Whatever profession you choose, whatever you do, if you have the expertise, if you have the immense knowledge about that particular thing, nobody can stop you. Here I'm not teaching you how to impress the other person. Okay, first thing, you should impress by yourself. You should be content that yes, you are a good human being. Only then you can go and talk to the other person, and you don't need to do anything extra for that. Whatever you talk about, it comes in your personality and it will show to the other person. How do you understand right now, before this, whatever I'm talking, you met n number of people, right? And you made an assumption that, okay, this guy or this girl, I'm not going to meet him again. Or maybe this is not the right person to talk about. How did you judge that? The way they talk to you, the way they behave to you, right? Similarly, if you will behave in a nicer way to the other person, they would love to come to you and they would love to talk to you, and that will make you a good person. When when the people come to you and they will talk to you, understood guys, that means the day you have achieved a good, you are a good person. You have achieved that level of you know, what can I say, of being a good person. Not only your family, not only your friends, the third person, the person whom you don't know, will come to you and talk to you about something. That day understood that you are a good human being. Our families come to us only, right? Our friends also come to us. If they have any problem, they will come to us. I am a very good listener. I'm not praising myself, but this is something I just love hearing people out. So that's why most of my friends, they come to me and discuss things, because I'm a very good listener. I just listen. Most of the people, they just get agitated sometimes, you know. And when I go to my friends, they actually get, few of them, they get agitated. They just don't. Bas karna yaar. You just keep on cribbing about one thing. Will you go to the person again? You will never go to the person again. You will never discuss your things with that person. Let the person say whatever they want to say. Only then they will come to you. People are very selfish in this life. Let me tell you, everyone is selfish. Okay? If you will not hear me out, I will never come to you. Okay? Everybody wants to tell their kind of story, their sadness, their happiness, whatever. In this society, be a good person, and in spite of saying things, in spite of blabbering out, just listen. Okay? You must have heard sometimes you don't need to argue all the time. Even if you know the other person is saying wrong things, you really don't need to argue. You really don't need to say, no, 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 you are wrong, this is right. Because you know the other person is not going to listen to you, then why you are, banging your head in a wall? It's good to be silent sometimes. You are not, it doesn't mean you are losing an argument. My father-in-law, he says a very good thing. He always says, if you lose an argument, that's fine, but never lose a relationship. So that in that moment we get angry and we say, I will win this argument. How did she say this to me? But just remember, guys, if you will not argue and if you will just stay quiet and say, okay, that person or that relationship, especially in the families I'm talking about, okay, not in the friends. If you know your elder, whosoever is he or she is, maybe your mother, is saying something wrong, you know that this is wrong, but it's good to say, it's good to stay silent sometimes. That will make her, a little more confident. Okay, and you will not get in a fight with her. Okay, so if you will tell your mother, if your mother is telling you something and you are not agreeing to that, or you know that she is wrong, don't say it. Just stay quiet. How difficult is that? It's very difficult actually, especially for those for those persons who are very anxious and put their point forward all the time. It's very difficult. How can they say this to me when you know that this is wrong? You just go after that and you just go to prove your point. But sometimes by proving a point, you might win the argument, but you lose the trust in that relationship. So that's why I said it's okay to lose an argument, but don't lose a relationship. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Just listen to the other person, whatever they are saying, and say, okay. If you know the other person is not going to listen to you, just ignore it by saying, okay. The person is still with you. You won the relationship. Whether you lose the argument, that's fine. So these are the key things which we really, really need to understand. Okay, and that will make us overall a good personality, and we don't do that. Trust me. The minute I just end this class, you will guys will go and fight with your mother on any other thing. And this is in our nature so much that it's so difficult to take it out in a day or so. You need practice for that. For example, my younger brother. Now, just when I muted, my younger brother came and he was standing in front of me and making fun of me. And I actually looked at him and I said, just go from here because I'm taking a class. Don't disturb me. So it's very difficult to control your anger. It is very difficult, and especially when you have younger brothers and sisters, because they irritate you so much that you feel like you shout. You just ask them, just Mama, just take him away from me. He's not letting me do my work. So you need to control that. Start with your brothers and sisters, guys. Trust me, if you have younger brothers or sisters, just start with them. Just try to control yourself. You will not say anything to them today. For a day. It's enough. I know it's very difficult to do, but just for a day, try not to, argue with them. Try not to beat them. Try not to fight with them. And try to ignore whatever they are doing. I know it is difficult, but let's try. And we will discuss this today. That what all you guys did in one day. Okay? So first of all, be a good listener. That's why if you are the elder one, like I am the elder one in my family. In my family and in my in-laws family, I'm the elder one. I used to lose my temper very easily. Okay? Since I was a very angry bird kind of a child. Okay? So now when you are the elder one, how will you make sure that your youngers come to you and talk to you about something? If you are always shouting at them, if you are always telling them that no, you are wrong, I am right, Mama loves me more, this and that, they will not come to you. You have to make sure that your siblings, if they are, God forbid, in any trouble in life, in spite of going to mom and dad because they are more scared of mom and dad, make sure they'll come to you and discuss things with you. And this will happen only if you have that comfort level, if you will maintain that what do you call that trust in them, that okay, no matter what, no matter how much I irritate him or irritate her, she will listen to me, so I'll go to her. So you need to develop this kind of confidence in your, not only in you but in your relationships also, right? Are you getting my point? What I'm trying to say, or just doing this in front of me? Nodding is actually required when you are listening to the other person, so it's okay. You can do that. Okay, so today, what we discussed is what is personality, what are the ways you can, be a good person. Listening, we talked about listening a little bit. Now I want to show a very interesting video. It's actually an audio, not a video. Okay, and just listen to this person. I'm actually a big fan of this person, and he says very nice things. Okay, so you will not see any video, you will just get an audio on the screen. I will share my screen and I will show it to you. Just listen to it and make the pointers, whatever he says. Don't write down everything. He will tell you few pointers about the personality, or maybe about something about the spirituality if you guys need that, good. If you don't need that, but he will talk about your personality. So just listen to it a little bit, okay? Make a pointers and try to imply that in your day-to-day life. Okay? So if you have any questions during the video, just note it down or write it down in the chat box, and we will discuss that after the video. Is that clear? But guys, do listen to it. I don't know, you will feel it, you might be a possibility you will feel it a little boring, but for me it helped a lot. So I want you guys to, listen to this guy. This is a request if you guys really want to. Okay, so I'll just share my screen to you.
This is a good list that I've put together, inspired by a couple of others and my own contribution, and I'd like to share this list with you. First, learning the power of purpose. A person who has purpose in their life, they have something to go for, some meaning. One writer described it, for some people it becomes a magnificent obsession. And for you and I, maybe it doesn't need to be that dramatic as a magnificent obsession. But it has to be something that does something to us, something that pulls us, especially into the future. You know, there are many influences on us. One is the influence of the past. Some people are always pulled back by the past. Some people are always pulled aside by the distractions. But here's what's powerful. If you have a list of high purpose in your life, it pulls you toward the future. And the more powerful the purpose is, the stronger it pulls. And here's the other great advantage if you have purpose for the future. It pulls you through all kinds of challenges and all kinds of difficulties. If you don't have these strong purposes for the future, it's easy to get swallowed by a bad day. It's easy to be almost annihilated by a poor month. And it's easy sometimes to almost disappear beneath the waves of a year that goes backwards if you don't have something to pull you beyond that year. So if you want something to pull you through all kinds of challenges, all kinds of difficulties, and things that come at you, you got to have something on out there, beyond today, beyond next week, beyond next month, beyond this year, that pulls you into the future. And the clearer it is, the stronger it pulls. The more dynamic it is, the more it affects your life, your spirit, your heart, your soul. It also creates imagination. It gets your mind working on how to achieve that purpose. And if your mind will work, and if your heart works, and if your spirit works, and if you have good input, like good ideas, I'm telling you, there isn't anything you can't accomplish. So that's one of the great powers that'll make a variable of you, and that is purpose. Here's the next one, self-confidence. Where does self-confidence come from? And this is the best advice I can give you on that. Not neglecting, first of all, the small daily disciplines. Self-confidence really comes from feeling good about yourself. And one of the best ways to feel good about yourself is at the end of the day to know that you poured it on. If you conducted a meeting, you did the best you could. If you made a phone call, it was the best phone call you could possibly make. If you wrote a letter, it wasn't a casual letter, it was your best letter. At the end of those kind of days, when you feel good about yourself, self-confidence starts to rise. You know that if you can have this kind of a good day, you can have another one the next day, and those days become the weeks become the months, and the month becomes a powerful year. Self-confidence comes from the lack of neglect. If you will not neglect to do the small daily disciplines, that's where self-confidence comes from. Part of good health is self-confidence. I know I'm going to be healthy. I take the Herbalife products. I eat the apple a day. I walk around the block. I do the jogging on the beach. At the end of the day, when you've really poured it on and you've done all the stuff, self-confidence grows. That self-confidence affects your health. It affects your future. It affects your psyche. Well, this is true. One of the great powers is self-confidence. Self-confidence means willingness to do whatever it takes to achieve. Some people say, well, I'll do it for a little while and see what happens. You know, I'll try a couple of things. If that doesn't work, I'm out of here. And all of us know that that kind of person doesn't have much of a future. But if you're willing to do whatever it takes, if I have to learn a couple of things, I will learn those things. If I got to learn 5 or 6 things, I'll learn all 6. If I have to take an extra class, I'll take an extra class. If I've got to read the books, I'll read the books. If I have to consult with people who know more than I know, I will do the necessary consulting. Whatever it takes, I will do. That starts to develop unbelievable self-confidence. Self-confidence also comes from the ability to rise above your circumstances. To rise above what happens, the petty little things, the discouraging things that would sink everyone else's ship except yours. That would cause someone else to quit early in the day, but you keep going. That kind of willingness to overcome all circumstances, whether it's the little challenges or the big challenges. If you're willing to do that, I promise you, this kind of power will work for you, and in you, the variable, it'll make a difference. The third on the list I had was enthusiasm. And here's what I wrote about enthusiasm. Enthusiasm that's powerful is mostly enthusiasm that is enthusiasm inside, 90%, 10% outside. We all know what the enthusiasm is like when somebody lets us see their enthusiasm, which is like the 90%, and only 10% of it is inside. But the enthusiasm that really affects people is not just being loud, but the enthusiasm that runs deep, the enthusiasm that comes from deep inside, created by self-confidence, created by purpose, created by genuine willingness to help other people. That kind of enthusiasm, knowing that you're going to get the job done, knowing you're going to affect people, knowing you're going to have testimonials flowing in from all kinds of directions. That kind of enthusiasm. A lot of it is quiet. A lot of it is unheard. And the 10% that's heard, it rings a bell. People call it genuine enthusiasm because they know that what you say in the outward display of your enthusiasm is only a small tip of the iceberg of the enthusiasm you feel inside that really motivates you to do the best job you can. Next on my list to help you become the powerful variable is expertise. Wanting to excel in all of the skills and settling for nothing less than an outstanding performance. If you're willing to be the best in your field, if you're willing to demand of yourself excellence in skills, to be the best that you can possibly be. In the training, do the best you possibly can. In doing a workshop, do the best you possibly can. Developing the skills of using your personality, developing the skills of language, developing the skills of influence, developing the skills of organizing. If you're willing to be an expert in all of the skills, Herbalife has the way for you to invest those skills and not only make a handsome living, not only make a lot of money, but if you would so desire and if it would be your purpose, a chance to make your fortune. Expertise, excellence in skills. Here was the next one on my list, making a powerful contribution to you, the variable, and that is preparation. Well prepared. And preparation, of course, involves a whole lot of things. A big share of our life is preparing, getting ready. When we go to the first grade in school, we're just preparing for the second grade. After we finish 2 grades, the 2 grades prepare us for number 3. Sometimes it seems like a long, excruciating time. And the time will just seem like it'll never come when we can finally have the performance that we really want. But it takes time to prepare. It takes time to get ready. And the decisions you make in the preparation time, those are the decisions that last for a lifetime. Preparing to have a good day. It's that preparing, maybe the night before, maybe the couple of days before the day that you're going to put everything together. The preparation for a meeting means that you've taken it serious. The preparation for doing a workshop means you're serious about the workshop. You want to make the best contribution. That kind of preparation is important. But here's preparation that's very vital, and that is to prepare yourself for success. Life seemingly does not wish to waste success on the unprepared. Life says, why waste a fortune on this person? They're not prepared to do the right things with it. They're not prepared to use it wisely. If a fortune was bestowed upon this unprepared person, it would probably be wasted. The people that could have been touched won't be touched. What could have been done won't be done because this fortune will have been wasted on the unprepared person. So not only look for fortune, not only look for the promise, but prepare yourself. And ask of yourself, what can I do to make myself ready? Because remember, life was designed not to give us what we want, not to give us what we need, but life was designed to give us what we deserve. Every value in life must be paid for. And those that pay are the ones that get it. It says those that give, receive. Someone says, I wish to receive, I wish to receive. You don't have to concentrate on receiving. Just become a good giver. It says those that search will find. Someone says, well, I need to find some good ideas to help change my life for the future. Then to find good ideas, that doesn't come because you need them, because it comes because you search for them. If you want good ideas, you've got to go after them. You've got to go to the class, you've got to go to the workshop, you've got to go to the training, go to the book, right? You've got to go to the journal, right? Go where good ideas are being taught, go searching, go looking, because good ideas are not going to be wasted on those that are not seeking, searching, well prepared. So, prepare yourself to be ready for fortune when it comes, to be ready for challenge when it comes, to be ready for opportunity when it comes. Opportunity comes along and passes by the person that is not well prepared. I want to prepare myself this year for next year. Yes, I wish to be effective this year, but I'm also thinking of ways, how could I be better? How could my ideas be more powerful? How could they be sharper, more clear? How could I reach some people next year that I perhaps can't reach this year? I haven't reached deep enough into my own soul to affect some people. Some people just pass by and say, hey, what a good speech. But how could I make it stronger than that, deeper than that, more powerful than that? I cannot be as powerful as I could be next year. You know, you can't go to the 10th grade in the 5th grade. You've just got to go through the grades. But the more you are prepared, when the 10th grade finally comes, now you can cash in and get 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more value from it by being prepared. I want to do my best this year for Herbalife, but I also want to get ready for next year, 1999. And then when the year 2000 comes, at the turn of the century, I want to be well equipped by language, by instinct, by temperament, by personality, by influence, to really be valuable the year 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my goal. I'm sure it's your goal. Now here's the next one. There's great power in self-reliance. Self-reliance means you simply look mostly to yourself. It would be nice if someone just gave you this, gave you this, gave you this. It would be nice if everyone did their job exactly as they're supposed to do it. But here's what you've got to do. Primarily rely on yourself. Primarily say, I'm the person responsible. And I will learn the necessary skills so that I can help people learn their skills. If I need lots of people to do certain things to build my organization, that is what I must have. But I've got to be the final backstop. I've got to be the final one that people can rely on. So that if this is missed and this is missed, I can catch up. I can fill the gap. I can do the job. We have to do it when we conduct meetings. We have to do it when we conduct training. We have to do it when we're in a class of just a few. What someone might have missed, we're there to fill in. Self-reliance. Primarily, we're learning to count on yourself. So that you can do this. Never complain and never explain. Here's the next key power, and that's image. There's many parts to image. The image that others see you as. The image you have with other people. And it's very important how other people see you. If they don't see you as a leader, chances are they won't pay attention. If they don't see you as being in control, chances are they won't have the trust. If they don't see you as knowing where you're going, what you want to accomplish, they probably won't follow. But if people can see you, if you have the image of someone that's in charge, in control of your life, your future, your destiny, in control of the situation, if they see that, that kind of image is powerful. It helps to win the day. It attracts other people. People want to be around people that are in control, that are powerful, but they know how to use their power. Influential, but they know how to use their influence. That kind of image is important. But here's a very important image, and that is your image of yourself. The way you dress, the way you talk, the way you think, your capacity for learning, all of that is an important image that you have of yourself. The image that you have that if it needs to be learned, you could learn it. If there's a book that needs to be mastered, you could master it. If there's a skill that needs to be learned, why couldn't you get busy now and learn that skill? That kind of self-image, that I am continually trying my best to be the best I can. Because one of the most important places you have to look is into the future, yes. You've got to look into the past, yes. You've got to look around, yes. But one of the most important places you have to look is in the mirror. You know, how I appear to other people, that's important. But how I appear to myself is the ultimate importance. That kind of image, to where you'll develop the self-confidence, you'll develop the self-reliance. Now here's another one in my rather short list. The next word is character. Becoming a person of high values, a person of principles, a person of honesty, a person that earns respect. That kind of character. It took character when Mark started to put the marketing system together. How can we have a system that will build in the integrity, that people will know that if this happens, then this will happen. And if this goes wrong, here's the way to fix it. Unless you have the principles and the character and the integrity to put together a viable plan for a wide variety of people, then the system is not going to last very long. And I've been around long enough, and I'm sure you have been around long enough to see a lot of systems that got started, but they failed. And the reason is because they were not constructed with integrity. They were not constructed with character. They were not constructed with doing the right thing. They might have been constructed to take advantage. You know, cash it out as quickly as possible and leave. Mark was involved when others took advantage of him all those years ago before Herbalife. When someone took advantage and didn't have the character, didn't have the principles, and didn't have the character to stay, the character to see it through, the character to do the right thing. So this is important, to develop the character within yourself, that people see you as honest, as fair, willing to do the right thing, willing to be helpful, but always willing to walk the center line, not to pass the line. When we come to an opportunity like Herbalife, especially multi-level network marketing, it is so dynamic, it is so powerful, and it is so possible in fortune making. that sometimes people want to speed up the process by cutting the corners, by neglecting to do the right things, to cheat a little here, cross the line just a little bit, because then, it'll grow faster and you can cash in quicker. Not necessary here. Doing Herbalife right will build your fortune longer and stronger than trying to cut the corners and not doing it right. If we'll have the integrity that Mark had when he started it and keep perpetuating that we will do the right thing by the marketing system, the right thing by a distributor who has a customer and they take care of that customer belongs to that distributor. That kind of integrity in the marketing system, the kind of integrity we have among each other, the kind of character we have to rely on each other, because here's what we cannot do. We cannot do this by ourselves. Mark's got to count on me. I've got to count on Mark. We've got to count on the president's team. The president's team has to count on the chairman's club for advice and counsel. We have to count on the millionaire team, the tabulator team, the world team. We've got to count on the distributor. We've got to count on the distributor giving the right message to the potential customer. We've got to count on the distributor giving wise counsel to the new recruit, teaching them the right way, the Herbalife way, the principled way, the character way. Vitally important. Building and developing your own character. Now here's another one. It's called self-discipline. Self-discipline, all of us have a challenge with that. Because sometimes it's easy, and especially if you're working hard, doing the best you can, it's easy sometimes to let up and let it go. But remember, so many people, especially now that we're as big as we are around the world, are counting on what we do. At home office, they have to be careful. They have to be disciplined. It's easy for the person who ships the product from Herbalife says, oh, well, I'll wait until tomorrow to ship it. And then they go home and sleep like a baby. But the distributor who's waiting for that product doesn't sleep that night, or doesn't sleep when the product doesn't show on time. But if everybody will have the discipline to say, I will do the best job I can. I will make mistakes, of course, because we're all human, but I'll try to remedy those mistakes and do the best job I can. That kind of self-discipline that understands how important your part is in all of the functions at work. Coming to work on the set here, HBN, there's so many people that play a part. And each one of the parts that are played is necessary to put on the broadcast, make it viable, make it real, make it powerful. Any couple of them missing, and it would be a disaster. But all of it put together, and it works like a charm. Each person developing the self-discipline to do their part, do their job. Here's one more, and that is the power of extraordinary performance and demanding of yourself excellent results. This is so important. If you want to live extraordinary, you must do extraordinary. If you want an extraordinary income, you must do extraordinary things. If you want an extraordinary fortune, you must go with the demands of what it takes to have that fortune. Mark has made such a fortune, it's almost beyond comprehension what the numbers really are. But guess what he has the satisfaction of knowing? He earned it all. If he'd have been lax in the performance, Herbalife would not be here these 18 years later. Herbalife would have been a footnote in multi-level history. But because he performed year after year, the third year and the fifth year, and the seventh year and the 10th year, and the 12th year and the 15th year, and now performing well in the 18th year, I'm telling you, that's what makes it such a viable fortune for Mark personally, of course, because he did the job. If we would ask of ourselves that kind of performance, and you've got to ask it of yourself. You know, I can't ask it of you. I would try to inspire you. I would try my best to share with you what it might taste like, what it's like to finally make your fortune. It happened for me. But here's what you must do. You must demand it of yourself. Society does not demand that you not have a heart attack. But if you want to escape having a heart attack, you must demand it of yourself. Society doesn't demand that you take Herbalife and improve your health. You have to demand it of yourself. Society doesn't demand that you jog around the block every morning But if you want good health, you must demand it of yourself. Society doesn't demand that you read a couple of books a week and improve your intelligence and your knowledge. That you must demand of yourself. Society does not demand that you build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through. That's not a demand of society. But you must demand it, if you wish it, you must demand it of yourself. Society doesn't demand that you learn a list of 10 skills.
All right, guys, did you see the video?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Was it interesting or it was a little boring? Be honest with me. Interesting, ma'am. So, did you make the pointers what he said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So, he talked about the purpose and he talked about all those things, confidence and things. Okay? And start implying it in your day-to-day life. Understood? Because only then you will be able to, inculcate these things in your personality. Did you get my point? Guys, I can't see you. Please switch on the camera so that I can see you. And okay, great. So, how many of you liked the video? Or you think that was little informative for you? You get the information, you get some knowledge how to act on the things. Was it a little bit of, what should I call that? Because when I used to listen to to this guy, I get very, calm and I get very positive vibes from him. So I used to listen so many motivational videos. He has a channel, I subscribe that and all those things. And I actually feel the difference. If you start implying those things in your day-to-day life, you will feel the difference in your personality. And that is what all about the personality development is. You need to be humble, you need to listen to the other person. So today we just completed listening. Okay? So tomorrow we will start with observations and communications. Is that clear? Do you guys have any doubt, anything you want to ask me from today's session? I'm ending the session a little bit early because I have to work on a presentation. Okay? So tomorrow I will see you at the same time, 2 o'clock, and the class will be for 2 hours till 4 o'clock. Is that clear? Do you have any doubts?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything? No, ma'am. You want to ask? No, ma'am.
It's not just assignments.
I'm sorry?
Ma'am, the list of assignments you told that you'll be sharing on the group.
List of assignments?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
I never said I have a list of assignments. Okay, so you must have done that. She needs to give me, I need to talk to her also regarding this. We will update that. Okay? So once this thing will be completed, we will update you on that and we'll tell you about the assignments. It not in a day or two because let us finish this module and then you need to make a presentation or assignment, whatever it is. But for that we need to discuss. Rubia ma'am and I will discuss and we'll let you know. All right. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So enjoy your evening, guys. Keep smiling. Work on the things which I have told you. Okay, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, tomorrow evening class having.
I'm sorry. Tomorrow?
We have class, ma'am.
Yeah, 2 to 4, same time.
Saturday, ma'am.
Oh, tomorrow is Saturday. Oh, okay. I guess then on Monday.
Monday.
On Monday. I'll see you guys on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Have fun. And work on the things which I've told you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.